We just finished up a legislative session here in the state, and it would appear, at least from a distance, that the Republican legislature and the Republican Governor Rick Scott aren't on the same page. Mary Ellen.
Well, I think it's really interesting. This is probably one of the most fascinating legislative sessions in a really long time for what didn't happen. The governor didn't get any of his agenda, and he didn't seem to hold any grudges against the legislature because of it. He vetoed a minimal amount of the budget. He seems to be signing all the key bills they wanted. So that to me is fascinating. But I also think it's reflective a little bit of where the Republican-led legislature is, and that is that they're unhappy with this governor for a lot of reasons. And not the least of which is what Gary has pointed out, and that is that this governor has not done very much to strengthen this Republican Party. It's fractured, it is divided, people are not working together, they're not raising money, and the legislature faces an election this year because of redistricting where everybody's on the ballot, all seats.
Well, I think one of the, obviously the one that got the most attention is that he wanted this massive tax cut package, he wanted all this economic incentive money, didn't get any of that. But one of the real indicators to me was that his Surgeon General didn't get confirmed by the Senate, which is the first time in a long time that a person like that didn't get confirmed. You know, it was sort of just, I was thinking about it when Jeb was in office, if they had tried to do that to one of Jeb's people, he would have been in there breaking arms to get his person confirmed. And it was sort of like there were some PR photo ops, but nothing really, no concerted effort to get the Senate to go along. But, you know, it was sort of almost amusing how the governor basically declared victory after the session immediately.
Governing is a side light. It's an accidental job.
He basically spun the whole thing that he basically got out in front of, you know, that there were tax cuts and everything's great, and he went on the road and had celebrations. So it was sort of amusing.
Well, it is funny because this party rose to power in the state, you know, in the 90s, very much based on control, under really good discipline within their candidates, within their leaders, and also they had demographics on their side as well in that period. Now you're starting to see a lack of control at just about every level of the party. And one of the concerns going forward is a guy like Trump, if Trump is the nominee, what impact that could have on down ballot races across Florida. So I think you have a lot of legislators right now in this state too who are worried about the fact that they all have to stand for re-election this year. And what kind of turnout and what kind of response will the Republican Party
And they really
get?
didn't get to draw the map either.
And they didn't get to draw the map.
Yeah.
So the maps are very competitive right now as far as these districts go. And whether the Democrats can mount, you know, significant opponents for a lot of these incumbent Republicans is another story. But I think there's a lot of hand-wringing right now within the Republican ranks about this fall's elections.